The Greek gods represent the oldest pantheon we know of. Their myths continue to circulate in the Western world and influence countless stories that never fail to captivate us. These gods are so important that they even inspired the names of the planets in our solar system. Let's take a look at who these noble inhabitants of Mount Olympus are. Greek gods weren't just mythological characters, they stood for the forces of nature, human emotions, and the core aspects of everyday life. Their stories helped shape Western culture, and even today, they still manage to capture our imagination. Zeus. Zeus is the supreme god of Greek mythology, the most powerful deity in the pantheon. Known as Jupiter in Roman mythology, he's the father of many other gods and has the power to control the weather, the skies, lightning, thunder, and rain. Son of Cronus and Rhea, Zeus had many wives and lovers, but his official wife was Hera, with whom he had a relationship full of ups and downs. Zeus is the top god in Greek mythology, the big boss of Mount Olympus. He's got control over the sky, thunder, and lightning. Even though he ruled with power, his love life was all over the place, which caused a lot of drama among the gods. Hera. Hera is the goddess of women, marriage, and the protector of pregnant women. She's married to Zeus, who's also her brother, since both are children of Cronus and Rhea. In mythology, Hera is often depicted as a jealous and vengeful woman, quite understandably since she was constantly cheated on by her husband. Besides keeping a close eye on Zeus, she would also unleash her fury on the children born from his many affairs. Hera is the goddess of marriage and women, and she definitely didn't have it easy. Married to Zeus, who cheated constantly, she often took her anger out on his lovers and kids. Still, she stood for loyalty, dignity, and feminine strength. Poseidon. Known as Neptune in Roman mythology, Poseidon is considered the god of the seas, oceans, earthquakes, and storms. Because of this, the Greeks would pray to him for protection in anything related to water. With a strong personality and a fiery temper, Poseidon is seen as the second most powerful god after his older brother, Zeus. Poseidon's the god of the sea, and just like the ocean, his mood could turn wild in a second. He was second only to Zeus in power and could stir up storms or calm the waters. He also had a hand in earthquakes and even created horses. Demeter. Also a daughter of Cronus and Rhea, Demeter is the goddess of agriculture, harvest, cultivated land, and the seasons. Her most famous story involves her daughter Persephone, who was kidnapped by Hades, the god of the underworld. To get her back, Demeter made all plants stop growing around the world. Zeus then brokered a deal with Hades, and Persephone began spending half the year with her mother and the other half with her husband. Demeter is all about the harvest and the changing seasons. When her daughter Persephone was taken by Hades, she basically put the world on pause. Nothing grew until they were reunited. That story explains why we have seasons. Athena. Widely worshipped among the Greeks, Athena is the goddess of wisdom, skills, and crafts. She's also seen as a great symbol of justice. There are several versions of her birth, but the most popular one is that she sprang from the head of her father, Zeus, which explains her strong connection to him. Athena was the goddess of wisdom, strategy, and fairness. She didn't just win battles, she outsmarted her enemies. Born straight out of Zeus's head, yeah, wild, right? She was known for her sharp mind and cool judgment. Apollo. The beautiful Apollo is one of the most revered and feared Greek gods. He's associated with beauty, truth, and music, but also with plagues and sudden death. Apollo is the result of an affair between Zeus and Leto, the goddess of the night. Hera punished Leto by forbidding her to give birth on solid ground. Because of this, Poseidon created the island of Delos, where Leto gave birth to the twins Artemis and Apollo. Apollo was the ultimate golden boy, god of music, healing, and prophecy. But don't let the charm fool you. He could bring plagues too. He was all about truth and beauty, but he didn't hold back when he felt disrespected. Artemis. Artemis is Apollo's twin sister, and she's known as the goddess of hunting, wildlife, and chastity. In addition to being the protector of women, she also takes care of animals, children, and childbirth. In Roman mythology, she's called Diana. Artemis, Apollo's twin, was the goddess of the hunt and protector of women and nature. She was tough, independent, and didn't take nonsense from anyone. She's also tied to the moon and was big on personal freedom and purity. Aphrodite. One of the most popular Greek deities, Aphrodite is considered the goddess of love, beauty, desire, fertility, and sexuality. Her stories are full of incidents where she seduces men and gods. According to myth, Aphrodite was born from the sea foam after the god Cronus castrated her father Uranus and threw his genitals into the ocean. She had several children, including Hermaphroditus, her son with Hermes, Hymen, her son with Apollo, and Priapus, her son with Dionysus. But her most famous child is Eros, born from her affair with Ares. Aphrodite was the goddess of love and beauty, but she was also kind of a heartbreaker. Her charm could make gods and mortals fall for her, and that often led to trouble. She had a bunch of famous love affairs and caused more than one fight. Hermes. Known for his eloquence, Hermes is the god of communication. He's the son of Zeus and the nymph Maia. He's the messenger of the gods and also a skilled inventor. Hermes created the lyre to give to Apollo, fire, and the alphabet. In Roman mythology, he's called Mercury. Hermes was the messenger god, always quick on his feet and quick with his words. He was super clever, kind of the trickster of the group, and looked out for travelers and even thieves. If you needed something delivered fast, he was your guy. Ares. Ares is the hot-tempered god of war, known for his violent side that involves a lot of bloodshed. Because of this, he was seen as a brave god but not very popular among the Greeks. In Roman mythology, he's called Mars. One of his most famous stories is his affair with Aphrodite. From their relationship, Ares and Aphrodite had 5 children: Harmonia, Phobos, Deimos, Eros, and Anteros. Ares was the god of war, but not the smart, tactical kind. He was all about the chaos and bloodshed. The Greeks didn't love him much, but he was still powerful. His fling with Aphrodite made for one of mythology's juiciest love stories, Hephaestus. Hephaestus is the god of fire, metallurgy, volcanoes, and craftsmanship. A fun fact about him is that he was born solely from Hera, who created him by herself through parthenogenesis. He's also sadly known as the ugly and lame god. Because of this, his mother rejected him and threw him into the sea. But he returned to Mount Olympus as an adult to take his revenge. He was married to Aphrodite but was betrayed by her. Hephaestus was the god of fire and metalwork, and even though he was cast out by his own mom for being born ugly, he ended up forging weapons and armor for the gods. He's the ultimate underdog, rejected at birth but came back stronger. Hestia. Lastly, we have Hestia, the Greek goddess of the home, hearth, hospitality, domestic life, and family. She's the oldest of the Olympian gods and the sister of Zeus and Hera. Hestia is known as a compassionate and generous goddess. The Greeks believed that lighting their hearths and gathering around them allowed them to keep a part of Hestia's sacred fire in their homes. Hestia was the goddess of home and hearth, the warm heart of the household. She didn't crave the spotlight but was all about peace and family. People believed that every home fire had a piece of her spirit keeping things safe and cozy. The gods of Olympus were powerful, unpredictable, and totally fascinating. Even after all these centuries, their stories are still very much alive. If these myths hooked you like they did me, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep diving into more legendary tales together.